Hi, it's Soyan the Frugal Chef. I hope you're doing very well today. Let's make some donuts. These are absolutely melt in your mouth, over the top, delicious. Let's make these. I have a cup of whole milk in this measuring cup, and what I did is put it in the microwave for 45 minutes and warmed it up. I want my milk to be warm, like 110 degrees, between 105 and 110 to start this recipe. I'm going to put 3/4 of it into this bowl. And I'm going to sprinkle a tablespoon of yeast on top. And I'm going to add 3/4 cups of bread flour. We're going to mix this until we have a paste. And what I'm going to do is cover this with some plastic and let it sit for 30 minutes. We will use this remaining 1/4 cup of milk to finish the recipe. I am going to use my food processor with my dough blade for this. You can also use your stand-up mixer. So I'm going to add that 1/4 cup of milk to my processor. Obviously it's not warm anymore. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of yeast. Can you see how this has turned bubbly? It's beautiful. I'm going to add that paste that I just showed you to this. And we're simply going to mix this for about 30 seconds. Now I'm going to add 3 egg yolks, a teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. And now I'm going to mix this for about 30 seconds. Now I'm going to add a cup of bread flour. We're going to mix this now until it starts forming a soft ball. This, as you can see, is very sticky. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. By the way, those egg yolks were room temperature as well. I'm going to mix this in for about 30 seconds. So now we're going to add a 1/4 cup of bread flour. We might need to add a little more, we'll see. We'll mix this for another 30 seconds. So as you can see, this is still very sticky. I'm going to add 1 more 1/4 cup of flour. And you might use up to 2.5 cups for this in total. That's with the paste and everything. Alright, this is starting to form a nice little dough. I'm going to add my last 1/4 cup. And we're going to mix this until we have a nice ball of dough. Okay, this is good. So I transferred the dough to this bowl. I'm just going to cover it and let it rest for about 30 minutes in a nice corner with no drag. Half an hour has gone by. We're now going to punch this down a little bit. Cover this with plastic and put it in the fridge for a minimum of an hour and up to 12 hours. That's a good thing. You can make this in advance if you want. So let's get ready to cut our donuts, okay? I have a baking sheet here and I put a clean dish rag on top. This is, make sure it's not towel, okay? Not terry. And we're going to lightly flour it. As you can see, I lightly floured this board. Look how beautiful this dough is. We are going to roll this out until it's about 1/2 inch thick. We are now going to cut our dough. I am using a special donut cutter who had a little accident in the move, but it's still okay. So I'm going to have holes in the middle. I'm not gonna make donut holes, so I'm just gonna take that dough out and re-roll it out and cut again. All right, I'm gonna put the remainder on another sheet. I have 12 in total. Leave a little space between each donut. And now we're going to cover it and let these rise for about 30 minutes. I am going to check these about every 10 minutes because I don't want them to overproof. So I'll show you what we'll be doing. So while we're waiting for our donuts to proof, we are going to get our glaze ready. I am sifting 1.5 cups of confectioner sugar, also known as icing sugar, also known as powdered sugar. We don't want any lumps in this, so you need to sift it. I'm going to start adding milk and vanilla to this until we have a nice little glaze. I'm going to say maybe 4 tablespoons of milk, a couple teaspoons of vanilla. Add a little more milk. Alright, these are almost ready. If I poke them, they spring back easily. I would like you to line a baking sheet with some paper towel and on top put a rack. I would also like you to start heating your oil. We want it at 360 degrees. It is very important that your oil be at the right temperature when you're deep frying. Otherwise, your donuts are going to boil in the oil and they're going to be greasy. We need them to cook very quickly. We also need to try and keep the oil at that one temperature. Start heating your oil about 15 minutes into the proofing of your donuts. It will take some time. And by the way, I'm using just simple vegetable oil. You can use canola oil, any oil that has a high smoking point. Do not use olive oil. I'm going to carefully lower my donut in here with a spatula. We're going to cook it about 3 minutes per side. When it's browned, flip it over, cook it another 3 minutes, and then transfer it to that cooling rack. I want you to apply the glaze while they are still a bit warm, okay? All right, moment of truth. This is so perfect. That donut, the consistency is just perfect. I hope you guys make these. I think you're gonna love them. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subbed and you sub, that'd be awesome. Please comment, share, and like. And I will have this recipe on the website, waiting for you guys to come and print it. In the meantime, eat well without going broke. I'm gonna see you soon.